G'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to War Thunder. Today, we're going to be having a look at the hUnTeR F6 again. And, to be honest, my opinions really haven't changed. Don't get me wrong, I still think it is a fantastic aircraft. But when it's paired up against one specific enemy, it will always come off second best. And that enemy is the F100. Unless, of course, you have a team like I did in this game. And in this game, my team was pretty good, actually. It was actually genuinely very good. We pretty much managed to get everyone taken out with not a whole lot of casualties compared to, something normal. And it wasn't quite a ruffle stomp. Well, I mean, on my part, I would say I did reasonably well. But at the same time, a part of me believes that I could have gotten a lot of those kills with any other rank 6 plane. Maybe not the Javelin. Maybe not the Javelin. But something like the F100, I would certainly say I could have gotten maybe 4 out of 5 of those kills. And perhaps secured myself another one along the line. This particular plane has often been looked at as solely a missile carrier. And that's basically what it is. It is just... You literally play this thing just for the SRAMs. It's not really great at turning as such. It keeps a lot of its energy. Its acceleration is decent for not having an afterburner, but compared to everything else with an afterburner, it really does not compare. It actually has a really good engine. If it had an afterburning engine and actually turned and wasn't a brick, then it would really be nice, actually. It would be fantastic. But it doesn't. And so we're stuck with a non-afterburning, although still pretty good engine. A fairly heavy airframe, and wings that seem to be... I don't know, the plane just doesn't feel floaty to me. Like, I guess maybe an F-86 might feel floaty in a low-speed engagement, or a MiG might feel floaty in a low-speed engagement, or even a Javelin. But, as you can see, in this particular match, what I'm going to do is try and side rush. You see, what happens is, a lot of the planes on the enemy team will just sort of climb up straight around that main area of operation, that main AO, I guess. And so what I might try and do is sneak around the side and wait for them to engage my friendlies, and then sneak up behind them when they're nice and baited and slow, or when they're not paying attention to what could be behind them because they see a bunch of enemies in front of them. I'm trying to be sneaky, and the hUnTeR F6 is really good when you have enemies that are not focused on you. That is probably where it outshines the F100, in my opinion. Those missiles are absolutely fantastic at doing that. And since the last patch has dropped, they've improved quite substantially. They're a lot more smooth. They track a lot better. And honestly, they're a lot better than they were last patch. They just feel nicer. And I tend to get better kills, and more of them, with these missiles than I did last patch. They're still roughly as easy to dodge in the case that you have a lot of energy, and obviously you don't want to get slow. I don't believe that these missiles at all really are overpowered. They have such a short range, and if you can, pull a sneaky on the missile, pull and roll at the same time, you can dodge them pretty easily, to be honest, especially if you're a supersonic. If you're a subsonic and you're caught at low speed, well, you're pretty much toast. But this F5, even though he has an afterburner, he's not really going to get away from this one. And it'll give him a nice little crit, which really sucks, because I wanted to kill out of that one. So I load up another one, and that one does the job for me. So I'm already down 2 missiles. I try and go for the F40 while locking on the MiG-17 and closing the distance, and I can close the distance on that MiG-17, and I get a nice connection. That is 3 missiles, 2 kills, very quickly. This plane has the capability of absolutely destroying enemies like no other when it comes to just sheer numbers. The missiles are perfect for that, but what the missiles aren't really ideal for are long-range engagements, and you can see here that this MiG-19 is starting to pull away, and whilst I still do get a missile on towards him, I only get a critical hit. And that might be because he's just a little bit faster, maybe it's because I was unlucky, But if you have someone pulling away from you, like he is now, he's just absolutely bolting away from me. There's really nothing I can do. I can't chase him down. I don't have any long-range missiles. And realistically, I will just have to wait for him to crash or wait for him to come back to me. The hUnTeR F6 is, I think, fairly well balanced at 9.7, and I don't think it needs any more changes. As it currently stands, I still think the F100 is better than it in a 1v1, and my biggest problem with the hUnTeR F6 is still F100s. I find that they have both the acceleration, they dump so much speed in a turn that you can't really accelerate away from them, because you'll lose a little bit of speed, but nowhere near as much as him. And then he's able to make it up really, really quickly. He has a similar, in my opinion, I think the F100's guns are better, even though the caliber is smaller. The fire rate and the velocity of the guns is a lot higher, so I feel like it's a lot better. They're a lot easier to aim. You have either similar or the same amount of ammo, and there's really, I think they're better. I think overall the F100 is a lot better. It suits the higher tier meta a lot more. And the F6 sort of, I guess it fits the lower tier jet meta. The sort of stay fast, and if you energy fight, then you're in for extremely low speeds. The hUnTeR can really make advantage of any jet that's traveling at super low speed. And so being at low speed against a hUnTeR is really not an option. But when you're facing supersonics in your hUnTeR, you'll find that they'll be able to get to those low speeds, and on top of that, they'll be able to out-accelerate you. So it gives you a hard time, and I find that I've had the most problems with the F100 because it dumps so much energy. Now, as you can see, I've managed to kill the hUnTeR, and this FJ was trying to yoink my beans. No, you just do not flat out do that. That is a massive no-no. If you see a plane heading towards the ground, you do not shoot at it, especially if you've seen that a friendly has shot at it, because that could be someone else's kill, and as a general courtesy, you don't want to do that to someone, and you don't want, then you should not be doing that to other people. Even I'm guilty of that. I know everyone who has played War Thunder is guilty of that in some respect, so as a courtesy, I would advise not to, try and yoink a falling plane, especially one that's in a flat spin. That's extremely frustrating. So, as a gentleman's agreement, I think we should all abide by that because it's just better. Now, in this case here, there is a MiG-19 and he looks like he might be damaged. He's very slow. He might be baited for one of the T2s, maybe the FJ. But I can see that he looks like a threat to that T2, and sure enough he is. He's actually getting some shots off, so I need to get rid of him as quickly as I can. Unfortunately, the T2 dies before that happens. So, in that case, I think I was right to take that kill because he was a direct threat. But if he's heading towards the ground in a spiral, then, it's time for me to leave him alone. But that is 5 very easy kills because my team wasn't focused, the enemy team wasn't focused on me. I could have free reign on the enemy. There were no F100s riding my asshole. And in general, I had a good time to use the SRAMs. Everyone was low speed. It was the perfect situation for the perfect storm. And the hUnTeR F6 is the best plane in the game to, I guess, take advantage of that. Anyway, ladies and gents, thank you very much for watching. Look at that, 100k Silver Lions. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you next time.